Hey guys, cheers to Chai Tea Tuesday. I have some hot tea today. We are talking about loss. This is a video that's probably not going to be very popular, but it is a video that I do think is for everyone. Whether you have experienced loss, you may be soon to be experiencing loss, or you don't foresee any loss, because unfortunately it's a part of all of our lives at some point. Even if this video just reaches and helps one person, I feel like it has done its job. Oh, and just to let you guys know, so it's going to be, this video will be how to prepare for loss, and then the next video will be what to do after loss, because there's so many different emotions and ways that everybody responds to loss differently. Also, let me say that I am not a doctor. I have no medical training mentally or emotionally or physically about any of this. These are just my personal experiences, things that I wish I would have known, and things that I've learned through my experiences. So let's get right into it. First, I want to tell you that there's going to be 2 bullet points. Be hopeful and be open. That's 1. And then make memories and have no regrets. That's 2. As we start, just to share with you the losses that I've experienced. I can't believe it's already been 3 years, but 3 years ago now, I lost my grandfather. When people would be oh so sad on social media, I just didn't understand, because I had never experienced the loss of a grandparent before. I would think to myself, we knew they were going to go someday, they're older. But I realize now everybody has different relationships with their grandparents. Dagnabbit. I have tissues and I'm trying my best not to cry. That's why I put on a full face of makeup, so I have like reasons not to mess up my makeup. So my grandfather to me was like a parent. When my parents got divorced and my dad got custody and was still working full-time, my grandfather came up to essentially be a live-in nanny. Like, he raised us. My grandfather taught me how to tell time on a clock. He taught me how to drive. He taught me how to spell, how to do math. My grandfather was a really huge part of my life. I lived with my grandparents a lot, like after high school and even shortly after my parents divorced, like we moved in with our grandparents. So my grandfather was like a second father to me. That's the first loss that I experienced. At that same time, I also lost my great aunt, who was my grandfather's sister. I actually lost her a few months before to cancer. And then more recently, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of losing my mom's husband, who has been in my life for 10 years, her life for 10 years, and was an absolutely amazing man. I have years ago experience and more recent experience, because we're still handling that emotionally and mentally. We're gonna take a deep breath for a second and then get right into a little bit more of a positive note. Okay, so bullet point number 1, be hopeful and be open. Being hopeful is so powerful. There's power in positivity. There's power in hope. There's power in not giving up. I've read in different places that studies have shown when someone is positive, their body heals and responds better. And when someone is just thinking that their life is over, that seems to be like a spiral. And that's not in all cases. Studies have shown that that's the case in certain situations. So I think as family members, if you know someone that's ill, sick, it's very powerful to be positive, hopeful, give them hope, give them power and joy, and knowing that they can get better. And that's so important. And to believe and pray for the best. That's number 1. That should be most important, number 1 thing. The second part of this, and this is going to be a really short point, is something that I did not do. So I hope that you guys can learn from my lesson that I had to learn the hard way. When it came to my grandfather, I believed that if I believed hard enough and prayed hard enough, that he would be okay and he would be able to leave the hospital. I just fully believed it. Like, there was zero doubt in my mind. I was like, there's power in belief, there's power in positivity, there's power in prayer, which there is. But I just thought, like, hey, I haven't had kids yet, so he's definitely going to be around for when I have kids. And I believe he's going to be okay, so it's just a fact. He's going to be okay. And I prayed really hard, and everybody else is praying, so he's going to be okay. So the second part of this is to be open and to prepare your heart for loss. Because if not, loss will 100% blindside you. And that's what happened to me. I believed that my grandfather would be okay, no matter how sick he was or how long he was in ICU. I didn't believe that he would pass away. I thought he would be around for a lot longer. So I think it's really important to, yes, have the positivity, but also prepare your heart for the fact that loss may happen. The doctors never told us he's gonna die. They just said he's not well, but we can try to get him better. So I think even if the doctors haven't said something, but circumstances are looking dire, preparing your heart for loss can help the impact that it has on you when it comes. Loss is always gonna be painful. Loss is always gonna hurt if it's someone close to you, but it doesn't have to 100% blindside you and knock you on your ass, for lack of better words, because I really couldn't function for a while. And some of you might be thinking, oh, I never knew your grandfather passed, or like I didn't see a post, but I'll talk more about that in section 2, which we're coming into now. I also apologize for my voice during this video. It's just gonna be like this. It's gonna be raspy because I'm emotional and trying really hard to keep it together. So part number 2, which we're going to start on like a more positive note and then get like the real as well, because there needs to be balance in life and advice. So first, it's make memories. Make memories. Example of my aunt and my mom's husband. We knew, they said that he was terminal. And so we knew and were praying against it, but knew that he would pass. So the things that people suggested to me that I think are so powerful and so important, and things that I also learned after the fact, are to take photos, tons of photos, create those memories, to take videos. You want to be able... Okay, I need to try hard to be less emotional. You want to be able to hear that person's voice again, to share videos with the voice and the gestures and the movements and memories to children and grandchildren and generations. You know, my mom had said someone told her to have him leave her a voicemail so she can always hear his voice. That in creating memories is really important. Okay, we're starting over. So I think I'm a little better now. I had someone come in real quick and that just like takes you out of the emotion. To have videos, photos, sound, audio to remember this person by, whoever it might be in your life, is really, really important. Something else that I did do in my own version that Daniel's dad actually suggested to me. He said, tell him anything and everything you want him to know. So I was able, and he said to write it down. So even writing a letter is very precious because the person that's ill may be able to look back on it and read it when they're in the hospital or on hospice or whatever it might be. I at least did so verbally. So I was able to tell Kelly, my mom's husband, I was able to say, thank you for being an amazing man. Thank you for being an amazing man to my mom. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for being just everything she could have wanted. Thank you for making her happy. I love you two together. Having that option to say that to him and knowing that that was important. I may have not said that if I didn't get that advice. That is something that I suggest for making memories. And then when it comes to no regrets, the number one thing I would say is to visit and spend time with that person. Some people don't know what to do when someone's ill, and so they stay away and they think, no, they'll be better. I'll see them when they're out of the hospital. I'll see them when they're out of, you know, whatever it is, when they're better. Or you think you have more time than you do. That too, guys. In my experience, and this is, I'm glad I did do this with my grandfather, I shut down my life. I know sometimes we can't afford to, but I would say reach out to friends and family to support you if you can, depending on the relationship. I didn't work for, I would say 4 or 5 months of that year from when my grandfather was sick until he passed, and then after. And same with my mom's husband, Kelly. I pretty much took off 6 months, and I was blessed that my husband could keep us safe and comfortable financially. So I was able to fly up to Seattle where my mom lives and be with them as much as possible. So the thing about time is you can't get it back. And once someone's no longer on this earth with us, you can never get those moments back. And I would rather know personally that that person knew that I loved them and that I was there for them. So another thing when it comes to no regrets, I thought my aunt had more time than she did. She had cancer. It's been 3 years, guys, and I'm still emotional. I thought she had more time than she did. So I didn't go visit her right away. And the last chance I had to be around her was at her funeral when she passed. So, if you know someone that's sick, even if they live halfway across the world and maybe you can't get money, like ask friends, family, like you don't want to have a regret. You never want to say what if or I wish I took the time or took the moments or said those words. Say all the words that you need to, the good words. Let this person leave earth with like peace it's not only for you, but it's for that person. If there's like hurt or anger, release that person so they're not leaving with this tormented soul, but that they can go in peace and know that their loved ones will be okay and the people around them are okay. And then this kind of ties back to what I said about make memories, but this goes also into no regrets. After the fact that my grandfather passed away, I realized I didn't have very many healthy photos or videos of him. Maybe he was in the background at Christmas or whatever, but I didn't stop to take a selfie or get a family photo. I was, in the last handful of years of my life, with my grandfather still here, the type of person that I would do my best to just put my phone down. Like I would take my picture with Daniel for the memories, and then I would put my phone down and enjoy the time, and I'll always have those memories, but I don't have photos. My last photo with my grandfather was my wedding day, which thank goodness we have that. But besides that, Miss Universe, and before that was like 2 years before, just at one of his birthdays. So I didn't have a lot of photos. I have 0 videos, guys. I have 0 videos of my grandfather that I know of from like my phone and my memories. That makes me so sad that I never just thought like, oh, I should definitely get a video of my Opa talking about this or my Opa saying that. Like he was definitely a camera shy man. I never wanted to be on video, but to have it would have been so precious. Same with Kelly. I never made a point to get a family photo. I enjoyed his presence so much. He was just such a great person that I always put my phone down. I literally don't have a single photo in 10 years that I know of with him besides my wedding, which I'm so thankful that he was at my wedding and I have those photos. But besides that, none. Same with videos. So going back to no regrets, even if you don't have a person in your life at all that's ill, when it's family members, if you think, oh, they're gonna be around forever, life is short. We never know. Take photos, take videos. Those moments and those memories are so precious. Those are my few points on how to prepare for loss. I pray that none of you are going through this right now, but there are things that I wish I had known, things that I wish I had done. A few more just little side notes, like when I was with my grandfather, good things that I did that I think were good. I would ask him what his favorite music was, and I would play his favorite music. And music, when he was in ICU, you really used to seem to soothe him. We made sure that even though my little brother was young, that he got to go in and see my grandfather before he passed, because usually there's an age limit in hospitals or ICUs. Making sure that also those around you don't have any regrets. This is gonna definitely make me emotional, but the story of right before my grandfather passed, my dad and grandmother, and so they were just in LA, and I saw them. They left, and I was leaving the very next day to go out of country for a trip that I had committed to long before he was sick. I followed right after them and I drove down because even though I had seen him 2 days before, I didn't want to have any regrets. And I still, in my mind, I hadn't accepted that he was going to pass away at all. But just, it wasn't even like a just in case. It was just like a, hey, a last visit before I see you in 2 weeks. I remember visiting him, giving him a big hug, staying in the ICU for like an hour, and then telling him, I'll see you when I get back. I get back in 2 weeks, so you stay strong. I'll see you soon. And then he passed when I was out of country. So I had to cut that trip short, which is okay. It's family. You gotta do what you gotta do. And flew back and was able to be with my family. But this is kind of where we transition into the, techno, but I really don't want to mess up my makeup. This is where we kind of transition into next week's video with me just sharing things that could help after loss. And it's going to be kind of short and sweet like this one, definitely under 10 minutes. If this video helps you, please share it. If you think there's someone out there that might need to see this, please share it with them. All of my videos on my channel will not be like this. I just think it's something important and it's been on my heart for a while. We'll get into all the other like more bubbly fun stuff. This week and next week will just be this topic of loss. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sitting with me, even if it's 5 of you that watch this video. Thank you. I really hope that this helps. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and cheers to Chai Tea Tuesday.